Hi, welcome back to my channel. So today is all about the golfer. Golfers generally, when they have a bad swing, has got to do with the mobility of your upper thoracic area. A lot of the problems stem from there. And what happens if you don't have enough mobility through the thoracic area, then you tend to put a lot more strain through the shoulders, which then creates more injuries. So I'm going to go through a little session showing you how to get mobility back into that thoracic spine, moving those shoulders correctly. It's not only about the upper back, it's also about the hips and the hamstrings, etc. So we're going to start lying down on your back in a good neutral position. Get those feet hip width apart and make sure the feet are close enough to your bum, because if they're too far away, when we do certain movements, you're going to automatically hang on those hamstrings. And the hamstrings are some of the issues that golfers have, having too short hamstrings. So make sure that those feet are close enough that you feel the whole foot, heel, big toe, and little toe. Relax the head down and just open up those arms, palms facing the ceiling, to help open up that shoulder joint for me. Now I want you to breathe in. We're going to go into spine curls. As you exhale, I want you to zip and hold. Tighten up your tummy as much as you can to allow that lower back to imprint into the floor for me, and just create mobility through the lumbar spine, and then release it back to neutral. And then tighten up your tummy so that your lower back imprints into the floor, and then release it back to neutral. And then again, imprint. Now squeeze those glutes to help peel up that lower back a little bit more, so your coccyx is sort of peeled off the floor, and then roll back down, trying to get movement all the way through that spine. Inhale, and as you exhale, tighten up your tummy, imprint, squeeze your bum, peel up a little higher, holding it there, and then roll it down, down, down. Breathe it in, and as you exhale, zip and hold a tight tummy, imprint, squeeze your bum as you peel up even higher. So every time you peel up and down, imagine getting movement out of each individual vertebrae as you release down. So if you've got a very tight upper thoracic, you'll more than likely have a very tight lower back as well. So really focus on this mobility throughout your spine. And then again, peel it all the way to the top. Body weight forward over your feet, not into your neck, and roll it back down for me. Now float those arms up. I want you to relax those shoulder blades flat onto the floor for me. Reach your left arm up towards the sky and drop the shoulder down. Reach your right arm up and drop it. So what you're doing here is you're opening up the back of the shoulder and stretching the muscles between the spine and the shoulder blade. And reach and reach. One more time, and reach it. Very nice. Now keep your arms up, palms facing in. All I want you to do is take the arms out to the side so you open up through your pecs and the front of the shoulder. And then ribs connect to pull the arms back up and open wide. Breathe it in. And as you exhale, ribs connect to pull back in. It's just an arm opening to help mobility through the shoulder joint. Inhale. Breathing out, allow the ribs, guys, to pull the arms back up to the center. And again, one more time, open wide. And ribs connect to come back in. Last one, open wide. And ribs connect to come back in. Now turn your palms to face your knees. You're going to take those arms back, but as the arms go back, focus on those ribs sliding down towards your hips using the out breath. And then ribs connect to pull the arms back up again. And then open wide. So only take those arms back as far as your shoulders will allow. So you don't want to go into that area where it's painful. And reach back, breathe it in. Use your lats and your ribs to help pull back up. One last one, back. Now instead of coming back up, use your lats and your ribs to float the arms all the way around back to your hips, releasing through the shoulder joints. Now if you get to about here and your shoulder's really painful, then I want you to lift a little bit higher and sweep around at that level. Don't try and push through the pain area, guys. You need to help work on that area, not increase the problem, the pain. And reach it over, connecting those ribs, sweep it around, last one, and up and over. Often if you use your rib cage and the lat muscles to help pull the arms around, you'll alleviate that pain as well. Okay, let's make this the last one. Reach it away, sweep it around, and relax. Now take your feet as wide as your mat for me. Take the arms out in line with your shoulders. Tighten up your tummy. I want you to roll your hips to the right and your head to the left. Now the palm faces the floor to keep those shoulder blades on the ground. And I want you to stretch this arm away from you and stretch your top hip away. So you're getting a beautiful rotation through your lower back, your mid back, and your neck. And then when you come back, leave the legs behind. Breathe out to allow your ribs to pull you back, your waist, your hips, and then your knees. And then you're going to go over to the other side. So remember, you're pushing through that top hip, stretching the arm away. Keep those shoulder blades on the ground, and then ribs, waist, hips, knees come back to the center and over. So while you do any of these exercises, make sure your tummy is nice and tight. You're using your pelvic floor as well. And then back to the center. Last one, over, reach it away, stretching those arms away from you. And then pull back into the center. Fantastic. Walk those feet back in, and you can either slide your legs away and roll up, or roll over up onto your side and then up to a seated position. In this position, I'd like you to tighten up your tummy, flex your feet, and reach forward. Now, if you've got super tight hamstrings, this is not going to happen, and you're going to feel like you have to bend your knees, then bend your knees, okay? But pull your belly button in, because it is a loaded flexion. So make sure your spine is protected. Reach it forwards, even if it's that position, and restack. Tighten up your tummy super tight before you reach forward. Breathe it in. And as you exhale, restack it. So if it's not comfortable sitting like this, you can bend your, cross your legs in front of you for the next exercise. But I'd like you to take your arms in line with your shoulders and sit up as tall as possible. So if you're not able to sit up tall, guys, sit on something high. Get a couple of books or a big cushion and sit on that. It does help. Breathe it in here. Now, as you breathe out, I want you to focus on the rib cage, rotating your spine, your rib cage around your spine, holding it there. Breathe it in. Now breathe out, rotate around a little bit more, so you're really focusing on that thoracic area, and back to the center and rotate. Hold it. Exhale, go around a bit more, back to the center and rotate it. That's it, guys. Inhaling. As you exhale, use that out breath to help rotate you around and release. Now the legs shouldn't be moving. If they're moving, you're working the hips, not your obliques. Rotate. Keep those feet still together. A little bit more. And release it back around. Now swing around onto your hands and knees. Now I know being on the hands and knees is not always comfortable for everybody's knees. So if you want, just pop a couple of cushions underneath your knees and then come into this position. So golfers, we tend to be very weak in that shoulder area because of overuse, etc. So I want you to learn correct positioning with that shoulder. Make sure the elbows are soft. If you're locking, you're creating more of a problem with that shoulder area. So soften those elbows, sink the fingertips down into the floor. I'd like you to go into a cat stretch. So you're going to tighten up your tummy and squeeze your bum, so you naturally feel that lumbar spine tucking under, and then release your head between your shoulders. Breathe it in, and as you exhale, stick your bum out, take your spine into extension, lifting your chest up. Now the whole time I want you pushing your hands into the floor and pulling them towards you, so you activate the serratus muscle, which is here. Stick that bum out, lift that chest up, breathe it in. And as you exhale, tuck it under. Belly button is scooping as you roll through. Keep your shoulders away from those ears. Now come back into extension. Breathe it in, hold. And as you exhale, come back to a neutral position. Now, you're going to slide your left leg away, but keep your toes on the ground for me. Tighten up your tummy and keep those hips level. Reach the opposite arm away and thread the arm through. Breathing in, hold it here. Exhaling, push back up and lift that arm up. So not only are you getting thoracic rotation, but you're opening up the front of the shoulder. Thread it through, breathing in, exhaling, push back up, reach it one more time and thread it through. Breathe in, exhaling, tighten up your core, reach it, guys, and place that hand and slide the knee back in. Nice stable arms, stretch the leg away, tuck those toes under for me, lift the arm. Elbow is soft, thread the arm through, bending that arm, breathe in, hold, exhaling, push back up and lift the arm up to the sky and thread it through. The whole time your hips are staying level with the ground, and push back up and reach. And again, thread it through. Now breathe in, hold it here. Exhaling, push back up, reach it, release the hand down and relax down into 4-point kneeling. Now you're going to go into scapular push-ups. So keeping your knees on the ground, squeeze and release those shoulder blades together. So all I want you doing is that. If you find this is a problem, all it is squeezing the shoulder blades together and pulling them away. Squeezing them and pulling them away. So if you can't do it in 4-point kneeling, just be in this position, keeping the arms straight and reach it. So this is a beautiful strengthener for the shoulder, guys. So I just want you to do 15 of them. So it's 5, 4, 3, keep the back of the neck lifted, 2, and 1. Very nice. If you've got knee issues, keep your bum up in the air. If you don't have knee issues, bum down towards your feet. Breathing into the back and sides of your rib cage. and all the way out. So if you've got knee issues, you're just in this position instead. Okay, and then from here, I want you to tighten up your tummy, come back up, and lie down on your tummy for me. Arms in line with your body. So arms in a window position, forehead resting down. I want you to imagine there's a little marble in front of your nose and there's a white line along the floor in front of you. You're going to hook your pubic bone down to protect the lower back, tighten up your tummy. Now roll that nose forward, down the marble must roll down that white line, and lift your chest up. So you're working on strengthening up that thoracic spine. So it's not only about mobilizing, you actually have to strengthen it as well. And release that nose back in. Roll that nose forward, lifting your chest. Breathe it in, exhaling, release back down. And again, roll that nose forward, lifting your chest. Hold and release back down. So any extension work, guys, is so good for golfers' swing and movement. And roll that nose forward, lifting your chest. Hold it here and then release back down. Now you want to just roll that nose forward, lift up a little bit so your upper body is hovering above the floor. And then you're going to lengthen and lift opposite arm and leg, reaching and release down, and reach and release down. And just balance out that spine for me, and stretch it, release it, reach it, release. One more time to either side. Stretch, release. Place your hands next to your shoulders, push back into shell again whenever you do extension. Do some flexion again as well, breathing in. And exhaling, roll back up, and come up to standing for me. So I want you to take those feet a little bit wider apart. Tuck that tailbone under, tighten up your tummy for me. Float the arm up and over. Now this arm is stretching down towards your knee as this arm reaches away. So you get this beautiful opening up the side of your body. Holding it here, breathing in, tuck under. And then as you exhale, connect in the side of the waist as you float the arm down. Arm up and over and reach it, breathing in. Tuck it under, and as you exhale, connect in the side of the waist. So if you need a little bit of support, if you've got a back issue, just place your hand on your knee to support you, or your leg, and then connect it. Last one, up and over, breathe it in, fantastic. And as you exhale, release it. Bring your knees, your feet and knees hip width apart. Bend your knees for me. I want you to go into sort of a standing threading the needle. You're going to take the one hand on the outside of your knee and then take the arm up towards the sky. Now, you're gently pushing into this knee, keeping your knees level with each other, and stretch that arm away from you. So you get that beautiful stretch between your shoulder blade and your spine. And release it. Over to the other side. Reach it up towards the sky. That's it, and release. And reach it up. And release. Last one, guys, and reach it up. And release, placing those hands on your knees into a cat stretch. I want you to tuck your tailbone under, rolling through your spine. Now, these few exercises, the standing ones, you can do before your game. About 30 minutes before you kick in, just mobilize everything and warm up those muscles. And then roll through. Lift. Tuck it under, belly button scooping, roll through. And then stick that bum out, lift your chest up, up, up. One more time, tuck it under. And as you exhale, bum out. Then from here, tuck under, come up to standing for me, all the way up to standing. Float those arms up, flex those hands, just sweep your arms away from you. That's it, open up those shoulder joints. Up for me, and sweep it around. Just one more time, and then lifting your chest. Sweep it around. Take those hands behind your back for me just to open up those collarbones and pull the hands down towards the floor as you lift your chest towards the sky. And then release it. And again, roll that nose to lift. Lift those arms, pushing down towards the floor. Excellent. Release, last one. Push down, open wide. Excellent. And release it. And just relax. Well done, guys. So see if that works for you. Pilates is amazing for golf. You don't actually need specific golfing Pilates lessons because Pilates session generally runs through flexion, extension, lateral flexion, rotation. So everything that you will need in a golfing game. So give me a shout, subscribe, and we'll see you guys soon. Cheers.